What type of leader are you? What's your leadership style, and could it even be the wrong one? What's the best leadership style? Oh man, I think you are actually asking the wrong questions. But to explain why you are asking the wrong questions, I will still go ahead and answer them for you because the answers might genuinely surprise you. So in this video, I'll walk you through a short test, a quiz if you will, to help you better understand your own leadership style. Is it, for example, servant leadership, transformational, authentic leadership, ethical one? Then I'll share which style scientific research considers the most effective one and why you should still be cautious with that conclusion. So I'll give you 9 statements and you decide which ones best describe your leadership style. Each comes from a distinct leadership model, but I only give you the name of the leadership style after I gave you all the statements. Let's begin. I make clear what one can expect to receive when performance goals are achieved. I talk optimistically about the future. I avoid making decisions. I ask questions that help employees better understand their situation and see possible actions for improvement. Okay, before I continue with the last 4 statements, I want to tease how I'll later determine what the best leadership style is. In 2018, Julia Hoch and some other researchers conducted a study. She took transformational leadership and, to put it simply, examined what happens when leaders basically simply add, you could say, behaviors from ethical, servant and authentic leadership to the transformational leadership style. The results might surprise you, I'll get to them shortly. But first, let's finish the quiz list. When making decisions, my leader asks, what is the right thing to do? The impact of my employees on what happens in my department is large. My leader puts my best interests ahead of their own. My leader lets others know who they truly are as a person. Alright, now take a moment to reflect. Which of these statements felt most aligned with how you lead? Before I reveal which styles they represent, one important note here. These sentences don't capture the full picture, obviously. Each leadership style obviously includes more dimensions. But I picked the representatives example, at least I tried, to give you a quick, useful impression of where you stand. So, the first statement is a classic example of transactional leadership, where leadership is viewed as an exchange, a transaction, performance for reward. The second statement reflects transformational leadership, leaders who connect day-to-day tasks with a bigger vision. The third, that's laissez-faire leadership, the absence of active leadership. The fourth describes the coaching leadership style, which is gaining popularity for its developmental focus. Next, the ethical leadership style. It emphasizes making morally sound decisions. Then the empowering leadership style is about giving employees ownership and influence. Next, servant leadership is defined by putting the needs of others first. And at last, authentic leadership is all about showing up as your true self. So, you should now have a clearer sense of your natural leadership orientation. But as I mentioned earlier, many studies have looked into which leadership styles actually work best. So what happened when Julia Hoch and the other researchers did their investigation? They added ethical, servant and authentic leadership behaviors to transformational leadership behaviors. Did it lead to stronger employee performance or higher employee satisfaction, for example? Surprisingly, not really. The boost was minimal. Transformational leadership alone basically already had a really strong positive effect. And only adding the behaviors of the servant leadership style actually made a meaningful additional difference. So, does that mean that transformational leadership is the best leadership style? In short, yeah, kind of. If you want to pick one leadership style and stick with it, that would be a solid choice, to be honest. But here's the thing. I wouldn't recommend choosing just one leadership style. All of these leadership styles exist for a reason. And each offers a unique, and even if it's small, impact on your team. So here's what I suggest instead. I remember leading 2 team members in my startup a few years ago. They were both great, but completely different. One had a high need for autonomy and was confident in their role and what they do. The other was also experienced, but very actively asked for more guidance. So what should I do? Say, I follow the empowering leadership style and treat both the same way? Of course not. There are 2 key insights here. First, leadership must fit the individual and the situation. One person may respond well to empowerment, another may benefit from a more transactional style. This means in your one-on-one meetings and all the other team interactions, of course, you need to tune in to how each team member individually wants to be led. And I have one specific tip to help you do exactly that. Imagine there were a coach sitting in your one-on-one meetings, giving you feedback on how to adopt your leadership to each person. Well, in today's world, there actually is a software tool that can do this. It's called Ecometer, a software I helped develop. And here's how it works. You activate transcription mode during your one-on-one meeting. Afterwards, the tool gives you personalized feedback, what worked, what could improve, and which leadership behaviors to adjust. You can use it for free forever with up to 2 team members, and for your whole team it's just $30 a month. Check it out, the link is below this video. Now for the second insight. Don't focus too much on theoretical leadership styles. Focus on what really matters, behavior change. Everything you care about as a leader ultimately shows up in behavior that you can see with your own eyes. Let's take an example. Say you have an introverted employee. What matters more? That they deeply reflect on how they became that way? Or as an alternative, that they start contributing during key meetings? Probably the latter, right? That's the actual behavior you are aiming for. That's what you can see with your own eyes. The company Google understood this. They ran a large internal study comparing their best and worst rated managers. The differences in behaviors of these two groups was stunning. The result of their study, a checklist of 8 specific things top managers consistently do that bad managers don't do. They turned it into a training program, and managers who participated in that training had a 13% higher performance rating by their employees even 1 year later. That's impressive. If you want to see that 8-item checklist, including actionable, specific behaviors grounded in the leadership styles we explored today, watch part 4 of our free online people development training course. It is linked right here. You'll even be able to download the checklist of roughly 15 specific behaviors. See you there!